We now return to Deadly Premonition. Episode 1, Chapter 5.
Previously during the investigation.
Another previously on we don't need to see because it's the exact same one. And we're going back into the spooky old lumbermill. With our trusty, unbreakable guitar in hand. Alright. Oh yeah, we could probably just clean this right now. $4, that's nothing. You know, Workaholic isn't getting any grimy yet, so I think I'll wait a bit later to switch over to Crimson. And then, oh yeah, we did pick up the submachine gun. But I think we could definitely put away the wrench. Yeah, there's no more use for this, especially when we got a big-ass guitar. Okay. Now to continue with the investigation. I also recall there's probably going to be some enemies just waiting like outside the periphery. Oh yeah. You're not getting me, man. Oh, you want more? Oh, fuck. Weird how the hitbox just did not want to work then. That's a shame. Actually, I'm probably... Yeah, I might as well.
Zach, it's almost like an altar. Was the murder some kind of ritual?
Okay. God, I love using this thing. Like, what other... Like, there are very few survival horror games you can probably, like, point to that actually have stuff like this, where it's one of your weapons is something so silly as just taking an electric guitar and one-hit KOing a bunch of these things. Oh yeah, these guys are infinite. I need to head down. I mean, I'm sure there's probably some, like, horror games out there that absolutely qualify as that, but they probably, like those are the sort of things where, like, they'd give those weapons as, like, a bonus for beating it the first time. In any other game, like, going around, like, whacking zombies or monsters, why is it not connecting? What the hell's going on? Oh my god. Yeah, we'll just keep going. But yeah, most other old survival horror games, the idea of just, like, beating up enemies with a big electric guitar would only be something you'd probably get as, like, a second playthrough, like, unlockable, like something for the post game. But no, it's like the game just lets you get this as soon as you can if you're diligent with doing side quests. It's pretty good. I dig it. Let's see. Alright. Well, not going back up that way. I mean, I know what it means, but that'd be a spoiler. Two for one. Nice. Again, no, he's not dropping anything. I guess if he did drop something, it would have, like, happened, like, before the... like, as soon as the death animation starts, because they go on for quite a while. Okay, come on, let me through. Anything of note in here? Anything? No? Alright. Fine. Moving on. Okay. Still more of these. Oh. So far, so good. Man, again, this really does feel nice. Just, I think for me, moving my solo streams for, like, the days I have off from work to earlier in the day is, like, working out a lot better than I was thinking it would. You know? Just because I know, like, that I'm able to go for, like, a lot longer now. That it's, like, earlier in the day. I'm not having to, like, worry about all the other stuff I've done earlier in the day that might leave me tired. Plus, then also would leave me time for, like, if I feel like it, to just play some other games that I have on my mind, just, like, in the evening. And it's a better wind down without needing to feel like I also need to have this be presented on the internet. Like I mentioned, I was, like, playing Prey Moon Crash, like, a few days ago, and I just recently, like, beat it for the first time, and that was enjoyable. But it also had the effect of making me go, man, Prey is so awesome. I need to do, like, another playthrough of the base game again. And I started literally just that last night. Started, like, a new, like, Typhon only run on Nightmare Survival, because 2 playthroughs on that difficulty already has shown that, like, I can handle anything it throws at me. And that's still real good. Again, it would be nice if I just had, like, a PC that was, like, better spec-wise than what I have with this laptop, because otherwise, man, it'd be nice to have the game running at 120 FPS with, like, without having to be restricted to low graphics settings. Oh, it's all good still. Like, it's the, like, just playing that Moon Crash is, like, the one thing that's, like, I feel has been helping me get over just the slight frustration that I can't reasonably play Deathloop even if I wanted to. You know, even, like, even if it was, like, because it's not even a matter of, like, whether or not I have the money to spare on a copy, because even if I were to pirate it, it would still probably run like ass on my laptop, just because it does not reach even the minimum specs for it. Jeez, it's really just... my guitar swings are just missing on occasion. It's a great weapon, but God, it's like the hitbox is so finicky. Oh, well. Still, besides that, it's like other stuff that's been on my mind. Like, I've been, you know, I've obviously not been, like, following everything to do with, like, with what's been streamed out about it, but obviously I'm still getting, like, news now and then of, like, stuff of notes from Tokyo Game Show, and of course at the top of that list is everyone just, like, memeing it up with everything to do with Final Fantasy Chaos, I mean Origin. That game is gonna be, like, the most fun train wreck ever. Especially even when it's, like I'm seeing impressions for that second demo out, and it sounds like people are having, like, notable gripes about, like, how the technical performance on that thing is. Almost, like, more noticeable, I feel, compared to, like, what people had talked about with the first demo. But, like, the core combat still looks like something I'd be interested in. Like, if nothing else, that game really does feel like the sort of thing where I will gladly play that game just for, like, the gameplay loop and nothing else. I don't even care if the game still ends up, like, running at, like a fluctuating between 30 and 60 FPS on performance mode. I don't care. I'm still gonna enjoy, like, I feel like playing through that game's combat and just laughing at how absolutely dumb the plot and characters are. God, it looks like it's just the hitbox misses entirely if I swing at them, but they're winding back up to hit. That sucks. But yeah, looking forward to that. That should be a real fun time. I guess there's only like one last thing of note that like I'm curious to see if anything comes of from TGS. Specifically, what it is it's like from like some like production company or whatever it is. I think it was called like 110 Industries or something like that. Like, it's something that I noticed, like, on the... Like, someone had sent me, like, a full schedule of, like, TGS's, like, entire stream schedule. Like, across all the days. And, like, apparently, like, for the last day, there's supposed to be one from, like a company that is, like, announcing, like, certain projects they're working on that they're all... That, you know, the reason I guess it's relevant to TGS is that they're working with, like, some Japanese companies on it. Because they're the sort of... It's clearly another one of those, like, production studios where they're more like an ideas place and not an actual game dev. So they take ideas for IPs and then just, like, hand them to a studio that they think is capable of delivering on it. And the thing that, like, ended up catching my eye from that was that apparently they're, like, announcing, like, supposedly, like, announcing some sort of project called Wanted Dead, which, who they describe the creators of it being, I'm not sure if it was like if they meant it as in Team Ninja or they like misspoke and it's supposed to be made by people that were originally part of the DOA and Ninja Gaiden team. Because that's what they described it as, and that it's like a and it's like a third-person shooter / action game hybrid. And all I can think about is, like, if they misspoke, then they probably mean Soleil, because that's the studio that is, like, that is literally made of ex-Team Ninja devs back from the Itagaki days. In fact, they were, like, the core studio responsible for, like, the actual game design work on Devil's Third. So I just see that, and I am wondering, is, like, some weird British IP company or whatever the hell, like, company in Europe is contacting these guys to give them a job to make a game, and they're just gonna make it like their fourth attempt at this point at like a Devil's Third type of situation. Because if it is, and they make it focused on the single player primarily and don't try and like focus on a multiplayer mode that not enough people will ever reasonably play, fuck it, I'm on board. I'll still vouch for Devil's Third's like qualities as long as I need to. Be it just talking about it randomly here or just constantly like pointing people to look at the Let's Play I did of it last year and just go, no, this is how you play it. You dumbasses. This is how it works. The performance is jank as all hell, but man, is it like a really sound, like, and novel fusion of like melee and shooter action gameplay. That said, it could also end up being maybe nothing like that, or maybe it is something where, yeah, they do mean Team Ninja and not Soleil, and they're just giving them like yet another weird project to put on their list of contracts. Who knows? Again, it's like I'm curious, but I don't have like high expectations of it like being anything that I specifically would want. Because that's clearly not how things work. There we go. Yeah, we'll restore power, but that's only after we get, like, the remaining clues we need, obviously. Oh my god, this hit detection sometimes. Like, you love this game, but it obviously reminds you that it is a very jank and not very well-built game that has a lot of heart, so you put up with the shortcomings. But then again, it's like, at this point, you play enough, like, B-tier type games of this nature, you just learn to accept it and roll with it as part of the experience, because, let's be real, if you're like me, you've spent, like, the majority of your entire life just playing video games. Not just the video games you like, but as wide a variety of games as possible, because you are that interested in seeing, like, what all there is in this medium. You learn to drop, like, any sort of pretense of, like, having, like, ironclad standards that you that you hold yourself to. Like, as far as, like, what games you're willing to play and enjoy. Like, those standards make more sense if it's like you play games on the off time, but you have other hobbies or interests, and because of that, you don't want to, like, play a game that you think is essentially, like, there to waste your time. For me, though, it's like, I have all the time I have to, like, try different video games, and there's only so many games out there that could be considered, like, good by, like, the standards that I would like games to be at, you know, which is, like, strong gameplay, good game feel, like, rock solid performance. But you just, after a while, like, that, you get through all of those and you realize, great, what else is there? You then start thinking about all the other games out there that at least have something interesting to them, even if the rest of them is, like, not as like, well polished. And you start approaching it less from a, I want to be entertained and have my time not be wasted at all because I am entitled to this. You instead look at it as, like, well, here's something bizarre. Let's try this out and, like, and then decipher, like, what was the intent here, you know? That's definitely how I feel, like, when it comes to, like a lot of the weird, like, flawed, jank-ass games that I've been playing in recent years, because it's like, I'm more interested in, like, seeing, like, the weird ideas because you just don't see those in, like, the bigger, more polished games, because they don't have the balls to, like, be that unsafe with it. That's how I viewed it, kind of, like, up to this point. You know, so it's like, that's obviously, like, the big reason for me liking Deadly Premonition the way I do, but at the same time, it's also why I'm, like, I've been fond of, like, other games in the past that, like, got slammed quite critically for, like, having some severe problems to them, but they were still worth it for me because I felt that there was still something interesting about them that made them stand out in a way that reminds you that not every, like, big budget game out there, like, is able to, like, do that sort of stuff. You know, like Devil's Third is that for me. I know that, like, I've also got, like, a soft spot for a game like Left Alive, even if it's, like, very much to the dismay of, like, like, original, like, Front Mission fans. But like, that is a game where I feel like if it had not come out as, like, harshly difficult as it was, it probably would have been, like, another game that would have been seen, like, on the same tier as Deadly Premonition. Like, something that just has a lot of, like, a multitude of insanely dumb, not well thought out ideas, but is held together by, like, really strong characters and story. You know? Like, it took them to like a month and a half after that game launched to put out a very easy mode, so that it's like, okay, you people if you actually want to see like what the story has to offer, you can just play it this way. Everything is like so easy as a result. And then, of course, obviously, with, like, stuff that's even coming on the horizon, there's already, like, Stranger of Paradise, which is just... Like, I'm looking forward to it. But I do have, like, based on what I've been seeing from the latest demo with technical performance and, like, all the other silly shit from, like, the cutscenes and trailers and, like, marketing in general, it's like, I'm fully expecting that to be kind of like a train wreck in a lot of ways, except for the gameplay. Because, like, taking the skeleton of Neo's, like, combat and applying an FF job system on top of that, like, that sounds interesting. Like, I know full well that, like, I've not played any of the Final Fantasies that actually have, like, those kind of in-depth job systems, you know? I've not played 5, obviously, because, like, that's the big one. But, yeah, where do I want to go with this? It's like that's the part that's, like, most interesting to me, and everything else I feel like will end up getting it, like, very middling, like, reception at best from people that are expecting, like, a fully featured, like, action RPG, let alone a Final Fantasy. But then again, like, what Final Fantasy means at this point could be anything, considering even the mainline games have had some serious fucking problems. I just hope with how, like, the fidelity of, like, the game's assets are looking, that when, like, that PC version does come out, I could at least still run it at, like, something acceptable on my laptop. And that's assuming that they get, like, enough optimization in on that game before release, because it is coming soon. It's coming out, like, it's basically, like the thing that I can see absolutely making people worried about is that the release date is near the end of March, which for companies in general is like, that's the end of a fiscal year. So it really does feel like the sort of thing where Square would, I do not put it past them, that are just absolutely trying to, like, push out a game like that before they start their next fiscal year, just as, like, some sort of quota. I mean, Left Alive was technically, I'm pretty sure, like, the same way. It was in Q1. And Balan Wonderworld was obviously that as well, though at least, unlike the other games I've been mentioning, the weird, flawed, but interesting games, nothing I've really been able to glean from Balan makes it even seem like it has, like, an interesting, flawed hook to it. It just comes off more as it's, like, the most unimaginative, bad 3D platformer that Yuji Naka could have phoned in ever. Which is a shame. I would have liked it to be, like, another instance where it is just, like, a game that actually has something interesting on top of, like, its extremely jank, like, bizarre layer. But alas, not every game manages to pull that off. It's just not how it goes. No, I'm not gonna shoot those barrels, actually. Let's just get some more coffee. Ooh, turkey sandwich. That's good. I'm pretty sure there's, like, a bed or someplace you can find, like, later up before the big chase sequence in this level. I'll probably use that to rest up and recover, again, some of my HP. And then use the turkey sandwich to recover the hunger, because that still goes down even when you're inside these nightmare worlds. Alright, what's the map? What has it got? Oh yeah, this just kind of loops around to wherever. I certainly hope my arm is up for the amount of like, oh, just barely. But yeah, with the chase sequence coming up, I remember it having like a lot of wiggling the left stick, and I certainly hope my arm is up for the task today. Okay. Oh yeah, I guess also speaking of like the other topics on my mind, because there's really not much else to really like espouse on regarding this game until we like get to the end of this sequence and like continue the plot. But like between like my morbid excitement, I guess we'll call it, for Stranger of Paradise, for Final Fantasy Chaos, like just the notion of that game like being based around like you like using weapons to gain proficiency in jobs and like unlocking skills that way, and just that seeming to be like the core loop, has me again thinking about just the fact that like there have been multiple like Final Fantasy games I've tried, and I've all bounced off of them for like varying reasons. But like obviously of like the ones I've tried, like I've never played 5, which I think is the one that still sticks with me as one that I'm potentially interested in trying, just because that job system is like the thing that people hype up a lot about it being worth. So I'm generally thinking of like whether it would be something I do for a stream or not, I have no idea, but I am thinking more and more of just trying 5, if only for like because I feel like it might be the one mainline Final Fantasy game I have a chance of like actually playing through the end and maybe enjoying. Because I know, like I mentioned this like on a stream way back. In fact, like Kaboom was on the stream with me for that. It was like during the Kingdom Hearts 2 playthrough, and I kind of mentioned that it was like I tried 4, 7, 10, and 13 with like varying amounts of progress in each of them, and I all bounced off for different reasons. And obviously it's like 4 is like from like the pre-7 era, you know that was the you know like 16-bit JRPGs and whatnot, like that sort of era that people have a lot of fondness for. But it's like there wasn't even a thing about 4 that like maybe bounced off that because I thought it was like bad or annoying, just that it kind of was like not that exciting. It was kind of like dull otherwise. The rest of the games usually had like some other aspect of them that was like an act of annoyance on for me to enjoy them. Get something to eat soon. Yeah, I think we will eventually. But yeah, I think I might just yeah, there's probably like a good chance that I'll be able to get some fun out of Final Fantasy V, because one thing I've discovered in like the few JRPGs that I've played and like actually enjoy is that then like I need like a good set of systems that offer a whole lot of like customizability to like the kind of role that your character or characters can have, and then just like find ways to push those to the point where you just break everything wide open in hilarious ways. You know? Like that's why I really like the Shin Megami Tensei games, because of how like I mean like yeah, you have like stats that you can put into your main character upon level up, but really it's the more fun part about it is just like the demon collecting and fusing. And then Digital Devil Saga takes the idea of like the skill of like the sphere grid from FF10, but like makes it a much more interesting and robust system across both games, where you where it's like you basically like unlock skills for all your characters that you can then change like their role, their usefulness, like in a certain battle to fit whatever they need. That's what I like. And I'm hoping that the job system in 5 could like give me that same feeling of joy in breaking it open. So that's probably not going to be for a while, because like obviously as far as like my non-stream games I'm currently working through, I've already got that that playthrough of Prey, doing another Typhon only run that like I'm focused on at the moment. So like once that's done, I'll probably consider I'll consider seeing like how like at least maybe like the early hours of Final Fantasy V jive with me, and from there I'll decide, okay, like maybe this will be good enough that I'll actually stream it, or if not, I'll just continue to play on my own time and just find ways to break things open otherwise. Regardless, one thing I am going to be doing, at least when I get around to it, is that I'm, just for, like, historical curiosity, I am actually using the, I got a hold of the original Super Famicom ROM with, like, the first translation patch, the one where, like, it translated the main character's name to Butts. Because I feel like that is somehow important, that I need to kind of see what that's like, especially when, like the history of that fan translation patch in particular is so old. Like it was one of the earliest fan translations ever, and it came out in the late 90s. I feel like that's worth something. Like, yeah, I know there's the Game Boy Advance version, and if I really want to flip a coin on like my enjoyment going up or down, I mean, there's obviously like the Pixel remasters. But, I don't know. It'll come when it comes. Right now, we gotta hide from the raincoat killer.
I see you.
Oh, that's great. You can actually still see if you, like, look out through the peephole, you can see, like, the shoulder line almost of the raincoat killer himself. That's hilarious. Alright. And now for the moment where the game does, like, 2 screens at once, and it just fucking shits the bed. Like, this frame rate, holy cow. Like, any sane game would not do this kind of split-screen view. Or at least not have both screens, like, persist at all times. Like, I know, like, off the top of my head, the only other thing I can think of that happened was, like, was that bit in Metal Gear Solid 4 at Shadow Moses where Raiden is fighting Vamp while you're holding off a bunch of geckos. And, like, that part was at least, like, silly, and, like, I feel ran better than this does. Like, that's the worst part. Especially when Metal Gear Solid 4 is already, like has its own shoddy technical performance to deal with anyway. The facial animation when it zooms in on York every time is not just the funniest shit ever. Like that is mid 90s like levels not even mid-90s, more like early 90s levels of like we've learned how to make like a facial animation, yet it's the most basic, robotic, like extremely linear, like shifting of vertices and then shifting back down. Again, like, you learn to love this game, at first in spite of the jank, but you realize quickly that you start to love it because of the jank. Okay. Just another save to be sure. Because from here on out, we've got like quite a bit of hectic moments that could like easily lead us to dying.
This is a waste of time.
If we're not careful. Yeah, everything else looks pretty good. Now then. Time for the big chase. I'm ready. Time to wiggle the stick. Oh, no, no, no. Oh. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. You have to hold. Come on. Yeah, do your thing. Come on. Bust open the crate. Whew, close. It's really difficult doing this to ensure like the fastest speed possible, because I can only wiggle the stick if I'm like moving my palm with the, if I have my palm on the stick and move it left and right. But unfortunately, it's my right palm I have to use, the same hand that I have that I want to use if I have to then press a button. And already my arm is feeling so tired. Ah, screw it, I'm moving to the left hand. Ah, screw it, he's catching up. Yes, thank you for not hitting me then. This is so stupid. Ooh. Oh god, I forgot that the Steam is like its own evade prompt. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh no, 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 no. This is bad. There we go. Okay. Now this is the best part. Oh, this is that jump animation. It's so silly. Oh, God bless this game. Oh yeah, I never actually went down like that curved hallway over here. I guess. Did I? Oh wait, no, I did. That's right. Shit. Oh, we got a first aid kit out of it. That's good. Right now, we just need to head to the elevator and do the final of these QTEs. The one where things can easily go wrong, because it is a lot of, like, button presses that are randomized. Ow. Oh my god. Asshole. Okay. And an extra save, because why not? We don't have any additional, like, story keys or anything in our inventories, because it's like, if I somehow die, this is another thing that's probably going to be happening as part of my completionism for this game, is I'm going to try to avoid having any deaths. If I do have a death, I am just going to reload the last save so it does not register as a continue. That's it. Nothing out of the ordinary on this elevator ride. Okay. Alright, there you are. Let's do this. Okay. First step. Wiggle the stick. Next step. Press Y to evade. And then... Okay. Ooh, just barely. Oh, man. And then... Strafe right. And then attack. Jackpot. See ya. And that's it. This investigation scene is all done. Now we can continue with the story. All right, show us what you found, York. Profiling. Stopped.
Hey. Come here.
That's all the information we need, Zach. Let's go back and show them what we found.
Yep, there was a murder. It was clearly fucked up. Oh, hey guys, I'm back. You will not believe the shit I saw. It's a good thing you weren't in there. Small cutscene into another loading scene. Oh.
Have you seen any of these things before?
No, not that I know of. But that raincoat is a little odd.
Odd? In a town where it rains so much?
Well, the people here rarely go out in the rain. I moved here during high school, and I never really understood why. Can you shed some light on this, George?
Oh, well, there's an old story, folklore. It's a fairy tale, to me. Something about a killer in a raincoat who appears on rainy nights. A vicious killer in a bright red raincoat. Yeah, that was it. Just a foolish piece of superstition. A rubbish story someone made up. Not many people still believe it, but I guess it's a traditional place.
I mean,
Most
that
of the
adds up.
shops still close up when it rains. School's out too.
Man, I wish school, like, back then closed
no
for me
reason to go
anytime it rained.
Not many people ever wear raincoats.
And now the raincoat.
I bet most kids wish that that was the case. People in Greenvale got fucking
By the way,
lucky.
would you two kindly show me your backs?
Whereas me, it's
Backs?
like...
Is
Like,
this
I
related
actually
to the
grew up
case?
living in Alaska, so it's like,
Person
even
with
like,
the
unlike the
upside-down
rest of the
peace mark in
United
that photo
States,
we
like,
found.
having a snow day was a very rare occurrence. Like, only if, like, the
He's a
snow
killer.
was really that heavy
What makes you
overnight
so
that,
sure
like,
about
the
that?
plows couldn't
Zach
deal with
and I
it in
saw
time.
him kill Anna in the lumbermill.
Hell, even, like, in like,
Killed
as
her.
as I got older, I
Right in
realized
there.
the thing that was, like,
Oh, one thing.
more likely to
Please
close
don't
up
ask me about
schools
Zach.
during that time
That's
wasn't
a
even just pure
private
snow
matter.
itself, but rather if, like, if the snow would, like,
Anyway, by showing
melt,
me your backs,
like,
we can
enough
clear
to
up most
just...
of my concerns about you.
Like if
Isn't that
if
for the
the, if
best?
like the if
You do
if
want to
it got
remove
real
yourself
icy,
from
I
the
guess it
suspect
was.
list.
Because there definitely,
It would
I
make things
do
a lot
recall at least
easier.
like one
This is insane.
week in particular
Your methods are
where
rude, insulting, and out of the
where
question.
like
And Emily is a
schools
female
got
officer.
closed
Forcing her to show
for
you her
like
back is
the entire
harassment.
few days
I don't
leading
care if
up
you were
to the
FBI or
Thanksgiving
not. You
weekend
are out of line.
because of the conditions on the roads had gotten so icy and so bad.
George, it's okay. Let's
It's
just show
it
him
was
and get it
like
over
I
with.
already kind of
Premo,
forget which year
are
it
you
was that it
crazy?
happened, but I still I still refer to that primarily as like
Right,
Thanksgiving week
Agent York?
because that whole weekend got extended to the first 3 days. Weather is messed up. Oh yeah, and York is forcing the law enforcement
Are you
officers to show him
satisfied now?
their backs
Yes.
because he's that kind of guy.
Apologies.
Now you, George.
Yeah, okay. I can't refuse it now, can I? But don't expect to get your way all the time, Agent Morgan.
Oh, believe me, I will. Oh, I definitely will.
George.
What are these scars?
Just like your Mr. Zach. Something private. I don't have to tell you about it.
Of course. Just like Zach. We can understand that, right, Zach?
Yeah, we definitely can.
Anyway, this will make things a lot easier from now on. I'm glad to say you're both pretty much off the hook. Thank you for your cooperation.
If anyone is suspicious around here, it's him. He's the most suspicious.
No, I don't think so. But he certainly is the most irritating.
We've studied the crimes.
Emily, the greatest voice of reason in
We know
this
what we have
game.
to do next, Zach. George, can we arrange to have the townfolk gather in one place? There's some things I want to address with the townfolk.
Very well. I'll arrange to have as many as possible gather in the community center tomorrow.
Thank you, George.
Oh, I love that slump animation where they're like, "Oh, we give up." Francis York Morgan. He's not suspicious. He's just an asshole. Ugh. But at least now we get a good break from the from the horror levels for a while. We get to go back to the best part of this game, exploring Greenvale.
Welcome back, everyone.
Hey, Thomas.
Thomas. Agent Morgan, it's past 2100. Let's meet up again at the community center tomorrow. I haven't been sleeping much since this all started, to be honest. I'm exhausted.
I was just about to suggest the same thing.
I'll make arrangements for people to gather between 1500 and 1700. I'll try and get as many people as I can to come, so don't be late, okay? Don't be late.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
The community center's on the south side. I've marked it on your map.
Thanks, Thomas.
Well then, see you tomorrow.
Okay. Now, there's one thing we're definitely going to be doing first before... Let's see. Because, like, after visiting, like, the Tree of Anna, like, the scene of the crime, like, that part of the map is technically now open, so we can actually get a couple things that we do need, which is, I believe, like, a trading card and the last, as well as the last of the random bones that we need. Oh god, that's right. I think it's like... Why is... Oh wow, this thing is 20% gas! Oh well, but I think this is a good time as any to finally show the fruits of our labor with getting that radio. Yeah, look at all that. First things first, we are absolutely gonna go back to the gas station and fuel up. And from here, we're gonna drive all the way to Harry's mansion, if only to get some agent honors and to also register it on the list of fast travel points on the radio. Good thing this spot's open. Oh yeah, Jack's here. You know what we can do? We can go ahead and give him like the final bribe. Okay, fill her up. Of course, after you give my car a refuel. All right. Here it is, you greedy asshole. Take this 400. Tell me what you got.
Benjamin, today's a big
Yeah, this flows a lot better when you do it this way as opposed to just trying to do it and, like, finish this quest, like, as early as Chapter 3. Because if you do that, you miss out on any of the car conversations with George and Emily.
I better get over to the general's and look for one. Reminds me, man, that general. He was going on about some high-fly car that just came in. Said it was the car that FB idiot drove into town with. Must be
That's a good nickname.
Ride, though. I bet with a little tuning it would run pretty smooth. Ah, what do I care? It ain't my thing.
Good job, York. You pissed away $1,000 just for someone to spill the beans on where your car ended up.
At the general's junkyard. Let's get over there and see if we can get it repaired. I don't care what it's going to cost. That car has sentimental value.
All right, number 34. That's complete. Now then, let's head on over. Also double check, see what the route is that we need to take. Because, yeah, we obviously have to go east, past Swery 65. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, so just keep going along this road until you get to this little fork, and it's this really dumb winding path until you eventually arrive at the mansion. I really am looking forward to continuing through this game just on the prospect of we don't need to drive nearly as much as we did early on.
Zach, if you notice anything, just stop.
I cannot stress enough. Anytime anyone wants to play this game, it is always vital to do the side quest to get the radio. Alas, we still do not have any new conversations from York about weird 80s movies and other B films. Okay. Getting close as we just keep heading along January Way. Yeah, so many things I'm still looking forward to about revisiting this game. Just like the future side quests, like the extra bonuses we'll get, the better cars. The better cars will absolutely be a godsend for like the moments where like using the fast travel isn't an option, so we're gonna have to go somewhere by vehicle. At least we'll have something better than these bricks. Okay. It's still really hilarious to think of just how much like the route to getting to Harry's mansion is primarily with like this long winding road, but the part that's actually even more ridiculous is that once you get the fast travel option, which we may or may not have gone just from like passing through here already, but it actually starts you at that gate near the fork in the road. Like they have that gate. Like, it's this gate, followed by this incredibly long and winding road just to get to the mansion. Still getting money for long-distance driving, at least that's something. Still, it's amazing just how, like, this is a small town where, like, you know, a good portion of things are pretty nicely spaced together. But then you just got, like, points of interest that are just so absurdly spaced out. You know, and, like, unsurprisingly, it's all stuff that, like, is more or less along, like, the corners and outer edges of Greenvale itself. The middle of it is, like, fairly dense enough with all, like, the police station, the restaurant, the bars, the store, everything. I'm still kind of impressed with like the design of Greenvale though. Like again, it's the sort of thing where I do very much liken it to the design and feel of Santa Destroy and No More Heroes, where just for whatever reason like these are Japanese games that somehow managed to get like a better sense for designing like a like a small American town that is like accurate to how it would be in the region they're supposed to be. Like, this is a small town in like somewhere like in the middle of Washington State, nowhere close to like Seattle or any other big cities. And then of course, like, No More Heroes is just like a small town in the middle of bumfuck California. Like just completely nowhere. Also, the more I'm playing this, the more I am just, like, starting to remember that there was even a Deadly Premonition 2. And aside from the fact that everyone was, like, taken aback so hard by, like, the game's technical performance being so unbelievably messed up, that I'm still wondering, like, I probably should actually, if it's not for me to, like, play it myself, because I don't know if I necessarily want to, I think I still need to at least, like, look up a bit more, like, what actually takes place in that game overall, like, story, characters, and all that. Because one thing that got described to me, like, not too long ago, like, a little while after I started, like, this whole stream playthrough, was being told that, like, yeah, like, the story, and obviously, like, just about Deadly Premonition 2 just was not as memorable as this. But the thing that kind of surprised me was it being described as, like, basically, instead of going full, like, Twin Peaks to the point of ripoff in some cases, like this game does, like, 2 just seems to go more for, like, aping parts of True Detective. Which seems like, on the one hand, I can kind of totally, like, that concept alone sounds interesting enough, I guess. Because to me, like, that description would almost make it seem like Swery probably had it in his head that, like, just doing not Twin Peaks again would probably seem like very uninspired, but I don't know. It's like, even from like what it was described to me by people that were more familiar with it, that his style doesn't really lend as well to something like True Detective compared to what he did, just aping a lot of like the weirdness of Twin Peaks with this game.
A human.
That, and maybe if he did, like, just, like, if Deadly Premonition 2 somehow ended up in a situation where it was, like, it was still just full Twin Peaks mode the whole time, I somehow would not be surprised if it, like, went to, like, the same, like, direction of bizarre, almost approaching the point of terribleness that, like, Season 3 of Twin Peaks got to, or at least based on what I was told about that. Because that was probably, like, the biggest example I could think of in recent memory in which people, people were clearly excited that David Lynch was like, yeah, that gum you like 20 years ago is gonna come back in style, or whatever the quote was that he used. That was like, yeah, Twin Peaks, it's returning. Like, that's obviously was like exciting to a lot of people that were invested in that show early on. But then everything I heard just seemed like he proceeded to go off the deep end and making something that was like designed to drive those fans crazy. It's honestly kind of amazing. So I would not have been surprised if maybe, like, if Swery just continued going full Twin Peaks with this, it probably would have ended up in the same position it sounded like where Dave Lynch had put, like, where he had ended up taking the Twin Peaks show too, with that third season, and just being like, why are you doing this? Okay, so I guess I can't. Even though it looked like it, I unfortunately cannot drive my police car up those stairs. Okay. Now we're just gonna pick up this trading card. Head back to the tree. Take a nap until morning. Buy some stuff from the milk barn that will be very helpful for, like, future side quests. And then just head on over to the, and then just head over to the community center. Get on to the next big story part where we get to actually talk with every important named NPC in this game, including the ones we've already talked to, which is a detail I actually really enjoyed about this game. Because it's like, if you were just focusing on the main line, like, a lot of those NPCs would actually be like your first proper introduction to them, and the dialogue would reflect that. But once you've actually meeting some of them, like the part where you're being introduced to them for the first time does not play. So they actually, like, shorten it some so that it's more like, oh hey, glad to see you're here.
Zach, is there something here that you want to check out? We need to be at the community center by 1500 today. Just think of talking in front of all those people. What do you think, Zach? It's going to get fun.
York has a very peculiar definition of what fun is. We'll just leave it at that. Anyway, let's fucking sleep. Alright. Oh, geez, more rain. Great. Hold on. This is bad because I don't want it to be raining when, like, the milk barn, when I need to go to the milk barn of all things, so, I don't know, let's just try this. Maybe it'll go away. Damn it. Ah, fuck. You know what, fine, let's just make things go to the next day until it stops raining, please. Yeah, I'm sure they won't mind that I completely missed the appointment on the last day because of on a chance of rain. Funny how that be, considering that this game, like, that this town's, like, entire traditions is based around not doing anything when it rains because they're scared of a fucking serial killer in a raincoat. Alright, let's stock back up on some pickles. Okay. Okay, shove at least 2 more of these cans down our gullet, and we're good to go. Never mind how our breath must smell from just downing all these pickles. When you play a video game like this that has a hunger system, like, you learn to get into the mindset of someone who is not at all picky about what they eat so long as their hunger is satisfied. Even if in reality, just downing this amount of stuff, of food of different types, would probably be enough to just make your, make you just throw it all up hours later. No, I am not talking about it from, like, a sense of personal experience. There's no way. That would be impossible. They had to come up with a with a sound effect for the loading screen that lets you know you're fast traveling. And it's just the most, like, comical, like, tires screeching sound ever. Like, oh wait, that's right. I guess they are kind of closed when they're out to lunch or something. Oh, whatever. Fine. There it is. Yeah. A nice detail about that, because it's like actually taking into account that these people have schedules. They gotta have lunch breaks. They can't always be at your beck and call to, like, sell you key items.
Hi there.
Alright, so right now what I need is country ham. And then hollandaise sauce. Okay. I'll also just put away, like, these food items for right now so they don't get accidentally used or anything. So, yeah. Especially since we're already maxed on, like, the separate amount of items I can actually carry. Oh, yeah, I just put this capsule worm bait away anyway. It's not like I'm using it. Okay, cool. Now we can proceed to the community center. And I think just to close the distance a lot faster and more efficiently, we're just going to go straight to the police station. The sheriff's department, rather. I also think from here I'm probably going to use this as a cue to change out my clothes to a new suit. Workaholic, I have to imagine, is starting to get a bit dirty. Yes. Yep, just as I thought. It's starting to look like it's getting dirty. We'll switch to Crimson. Wow, we have, like, over $11,000. That's amazing. Our diligence as an FBI special agent has really paid off for us. Delaying the investigation just to get a bunch of trading cards and other nonsense. I approve of this. Okay. Next thing, get us a car. Ideally another police vehicle that we can use that is full up on gas already. That's probably our car, so it's already worn down. Fine, we'll take the big cop SUV, I suppose. Even though I know that it handles way worse and has, like, a lower top speed. Vid games. Yes, that is what the vanity license plate is saying. God, this thing handles so much worse. It is amazing. Like, just, like, if you just do not bother engaging with any of the side quests that could get you, like, improved car handling, you are stuck with, like, the absolute worst feeling driving possible. And to be fair, when you do get those, like, car upgrades and even, like, full-on better cars, it's still not that much better. But it still makes quite a difference. Whatever, let's just get over to the community center right now. We'll smoke the remaining time away. Also, as someone that has obviously been like doing a lot of driving in the past almost years since moving to my current place, just because I cannot rely on public transit the way I used to, it's like looking at the top speed of this thing, it's 45 miles per hour. Like, no biggie. That's generally like the speed limit on a lot of roads here in the U.S. But I feel like with those turns in particular, there's no reason to think that, like, your turn radius could not be able to match that while still going at that speed. That is how demonstrably bad, like, the driving handles in this game. Just the worst turn radius that you could ever imagine. And it's that. Wait, no, I didn't want to use the... Wait, cancel. I meant to get my smokes. There we go. There we go. 302. Just in time for the bell to start ringing. Nice.
Greenvale Community Center. Now that's an impressive building. Clock tower's impressive.
Glad to see that York's beard on the main playthrough is starting to come along nicely. We've obviously seen it progress quite a bit on certain chapter replays where we had to, like, advance time by multiple days. But that's good. I dig this. Again, York looks significantly better when he has a beard to kind of cover up that clean face. His clean-shaven look just... It just always comes off as a bit weird looking.
Zach, I haven't been on stage like this since elementary school. I'm not some tree in the wind this time either. That was a
You
tough
were a
roll.
tree.
That was a piece of scenery. Bright red tree.
Thank you all for coming today. Getting right down to business. Agent Morgan from the Federal Bureau of Investigations wishes to speak with you.
Good afternoon. I'm Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Some of you are already aware by now of the tragic murder of Anna Graham. Truly a heinous, terrible crime. I've come to this town to solve the murder of this young, beautiful girl, and to bring the one responsible to justice.
Yep. Also, your mics, I feel, are clearly not loud enough, but whatever. That kind of goes back to, like, this game's, like, poor audio mixing all around.
I asked to have you gathered here so I can share some advice.
Granted, I'm not able to really hear it well on my end either, but that's just because I have to keep the volume low enough that it won't, like, break through the noise filter on my mic and, like, get picked up that way.
Dangerous, isolated places.
I'm sure it sounds fine, all things considered, for people that are, like, that are just, like, watching this stream anyway.
Secondly, avoid going out when it is raining. Now, I heard the folklore story.
Yeah, they were clearly not let in on everything that York was going to go on about in his little
You
speech.
should also be especially careful. I would hate to see more victims.
Carol McLean, one of the other, like, few female characters in this game whose face model just does not look off. Not like it does with, like, Becky or Anna.
Excuse me. So, as I have said, avoid going outside when it is raining. Young women should be especially careful. Report anything or anyone suspicious immediately. The murderer will be caught and brought to justice. But you must all remain on guard until we do so. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Short enough speech. It's to the point. Oh. And here comes the mysterious capitalist to steal the show. Alright. Hit him with the sick rhymes, Michael. Yeah, Michael Tillotson, I think it is. That's right. Harry's Aid, whatever it is.
When paying for our sins, we must not frown. The loss of Anna was for that debt. When purple fog covers our town, we'll all wander in hell, I fret. So says Mr. Stewart.
His hair is just so fabulous. What an impossibly handsome young lad.
Sure knows how to steal thunder.
Living in this...
Well then, Zach.
In this middle of nowhere, like...
All these guys leave.
Like Washington State small town.
Agent Morgan, here's your chance to get to know some of the townsfolk. Don't let it go to waste.
Oh, I won't. I already got to know some of them.
Agent York, your words really made me think about Anna's death again. How could one do such a terrible thing? I'm still in shock.
Thomas, I forgot to ask. You don't have a tattoo on your back, do you?
Tattoo? I do, actually. But why?
Could you show it to me, please?
What? Now? Here?
Yes, please. This is vital for our investigation.
It is. Unfortunately, it's not the type of evidence that you'll realize it's actually important now.
If it's gonna help you any.
Well, I'm wondering who G is now, but aside from that,
Did it tell you anything?
it told me that you didn't kill Anna.
Of course not. What are you saying? You ought to see that tattoo, Zach. A big heart with an arrow through it and Love G in the center.
I don't know when he got that done, but we've all been through the 80s.
Zooming in onto the spots where the tattoo clearly is, but we can't see it.
Quite a performance. Mysterious and very poetic.
Yeah, sup, Harry.
But I don't think many of your audience appreciated it.
Mr. Francis York Morgan. The purple fog appears with rain, soiling and ruining our town. The evil does not drain. Find out why the town is soiled. Remove the source from which it boiled. Then and only then your case is solved. But for this to happen, to solve the crime, the prophet must do the crime at the proper time. It is not yet mine. That is Mr. Stewart's time, not mine. But if you, Mr. York, find the right timing to chat with me, that is. See, so says Mr. Stewart.
Definitely the longest
So,
rhyme this dude
You know something,
spouts.
but there's some reason why you can't tell me yet. Is that what you're trying to say?
Cut the poetic rubbish, Harry, and tell us what you know. We could force you to talk, you know.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, pay close attention to the signs.
You could just sense
Premonitions.
George's frustration, where it's just like,
They still
anytime,
and
like,
helpful to your
Harry's just
investigation.
willing to, like, talk to anyone,
So
it's
says
only to
Mr.
York.
Stewart.
Even if someone's addressing him with something, he's
But
just
don't
gonna, like, relay it to York
mean that
instead, like the
we
other
know.
person isn't there. This is the disrespect. Oh, man. I love it.
Agent York, are you finished asking questions yet? When you're done, let me know. We'll all get dinner.
Yeah, sure thing. Okay, we can talk to Carol. For, like, a pretty good cutscene, like, dialogue exchange, actually. Carol's pretty great.
Anna was an airhead.
What do you mean? Are you saying she was killed because she was an airhead? Or are you saying that she was an airhead for being killed?
I'm sure she's still an airhead, even in heaven. She changed her hair every day. If she lost a pound, she'd be ecstatic. Gain one, and she'd almost be in tears. She broke many, many plates every day at the diner, and she'd always have a smile on her face. Always having fun. Everyone looked at her and knew she was a cute, adorable, loving airhead. But they would be smiling.
But I
right
just know,
along with
York,
her. I
your
wouldn't be surprised if the angels
your
smiled
tie
with
is
you.
exceptionally stiff right now. Oh my god, it's still sticking straight.
Isaiah said that Anna was a fairy of the forest.
It's amazing. I've never seen that before. Holy crap. Oh, that's fantastic. Just great. Oh man, now it went away. Shoot. Oh well, the fun had to stop after a while. Just silly, innocuous glitches or bugs like that is what I live for. Okay, let's talk to the people up on the second floor landing. Sup, General?
So you're the FBI agent, are you?
I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan.
I'm the general. I fought for my country in the Vietnam War.
A real-life war hero. So why are you living here?
Soldier, this is my hometown. After a man returns from war, there's no place to go other than his hometown. Your little speech, you mentioned the raincoat killer.
Was that a problem?
You imbecile. The raincoat killer's no myth, not mere folklore, not a fairy tale. It's based on actual events that happened in this town.
It is.
I mean, isn't that ostensibly what a lot of folklore is rooted in? Stuff that people experience, but like just the recounting of events makes it seem much more larger than life than it is.
Soldier, if you want to hear more, you come to my office.
Also, York's assessment on this is like what makes the on the generals, what makes him an interesting character, because it's
raw power, Zach.
real silly.
Despite the credibility issues, we should give him a visit.
One thing, though. Calls himself a general, but isn't that a sergeant's uniform?
It's stuff like that that I feel is a sign that if a creator does that, like, it basically lets them get out ahead of people that would, like, be quick to point out that same thing and go, oh, like, the person that created this character, this story doesn't know, like, jack shit about this particular topic. But here it's more like, no, he probably does. They're just now playing into the fact that, like, his credibility as, like, a general from Vietnam is incredibly suspect.
But I don't think so at all. People don't
And that
understand why
becomes
he's in the
more
army.
apparent when you, like,
I do.
do his side quests and listen to his stories and just realize that, like,
You know,
York
he already
is
made a
very
fortune in
clearly
LA
catching
as a
on to the
career.
fact that parts about, like, his
did not know
story
that.
combined with how the military operates does not add up.
You didn't? Oh, the doctor is a very rich man. He has a really big house over by the lake.
Amazing, Zach. You must be loaded. Rich and young. A perfect combination.
But
Yep,
you don't get that
something I'm
feeling
not.
from him at all, do you? He doesn't show it. That's one of the things I like best about him.
Well, I could have been fooled if it weren't for you. Thanks for the valuable information, Fiona.
And just him going, wait, what? Why are you talking about me?
Agent York, you make any progress?
Of course, plenty. Tell me, Usha, when is Anna's funeral?
That's still undecided. Sally isn't really in any condition to do it right now.
Her mother? I don't see her here.
Anna was her sole reason for living after her husband was deceased. Well, she's probably huddled up at home.
Either at home or drinking her sorrows away at the
Probably
Swery
take some
65.
time to pay her a visit.
Well, yes, you should. And
Because,
I'd
yes, that
appreciate it
is
if
where
you
she
could,
can
too.
actually go on some nights.
But don't go too hard on her, okay?
Alright, now these two.
I'm U.S. Special Agent Francis York Morgan.
FBI agent, you mean?
Olivia, Nick's
Like, I
wife.
guess you feel obligated that, in order to, like, introduce yourself in a specific way to every
worked at
single
your
person you
husband's
meet, but at
diner,
least
right?
stay consistent, York.
What kind of girl was she?
Well, she was a very hard worker. A nice girl.
Did you ever see her acting strange?
Well, not really. But there was one thing. Well, you see, the diner closes when it rains. Many shops do that around here, as you might have heard. Anyway, Anna always seemed unfocused the day after it rained. And came in late, too. It was almost as if she used up all her energy the day before. Come to think of it, that was really strange.
Hmm.
Did the legendary monster really kill her?
It wasn't a monster. Just a criminal. Criminal I'm going to catch and bring to justice.
Actually valuable information for the investigation. At the very least, it gives more context to Clara, like, what she was doing that could have led to her
I'm
getting
US
killed.
Special Agent Francis York Morgan.
As well as the other
I presume
side
you were
quests
the
we've
owner
done
of
that
the
kind
diner
of
that Anna worked at?
That's
fed
right.
further information to that.
I'd like to ask you a few questions about Anna Graham. Did you notice anything strange about her prior to the incident? Nick, are you hiding something?
No, nothing.
You sure?
I'm sorry, but I don't like repeating myself.
Very uncooperative. Oh,
FBI
yeah.
Special Agent
And here's
Francis
this
York
dude.
Morgan. Please, call me York.
Wesley, owner of the gun store called Panda Bear.
Snipes?
People around here call me the gunsmith.
Yeah, whatever. I even remember back in the
Was
day,
there
I
something
think
you wanna
jokingly
ask me?
referring to him as Drebin.
How do you make a living running a gun store in a place like
Because,
this?
yeah, he's just a cool black guy that is in charge of, like, a
many customers.
gunsmith,
Story gives
like,
a small thing,
a
big
store and
show.
all that.
I do gunsmith work in my shop, too. If you got the skills, the customers find you. All you need is a network.
I hope so.
Yeah, so... You want something else? Oh, yeah, we could buy those, but nah.
You've got quite a selection here. No wonder people come from all around.
Even today, a customer paid me to go to Seattle for some help. I just got back.
I see. Well, I'll be sure to visit your store sometime. I'd like for you to take a look at my gun.
Understood. Look forward to it. The shop will be open again tomorrow. It's usually open from 2000 to 0600. See you then.
Yeah, Wesley's pretty cool.
Hey, Lily.
Agent York, your speech frightens some of us a little.
You should work on being more sensitive with words when talking to groups.
Really? I tried my best to be gentle.
He tried.
So, have you noticed anything strange or out of place recently?
At least he does, like,
Just
that
Becky.
seems real,
She works
like,
part-time at the store.
like he did
She's been
genuinely
acting
try.
strange recently.
Especially when we know just kind of how
I took the boys
insensitive
over
or
to visit her
just, like,
house today.
bizarre he comes
I was
off
just
to
worried,
certain
you know,
people with,
because
like,
she
his
hasn't come in to look
investigations
at
or how
all
he
after the
describes
incident.
things.
But she took in the boys and told me to wait outside. Something about a special secret between just the three of them. I just couldn't understand it.
Now that's interesting. Thank you, Lily.
More important information that'll all come into
Perhaps
play
you should
soon.
give Becky a visit tomorrow, Zach.
Sup, Keith?
Hey, York, you were rocking it large up there.
Was I? I haven't been on stage like that since elementary school.
You made me think, man, like, things can't go on like this. We need, like, some action or something. I was pretty psyched up, you know, before you got on stage. I was like, dude, a real psycho in town. Pretty sweet gig. But now, I mean, dude, that lunatic could be any one of us, man. I don't want to think of that whack job coming after my family. Makes me shudder all over, man. It was way too heavy. You'll catch him, right, FBI?
Of course. But you need to be able to take
Keith
care
is
of
the
those around,
best.
too.
You're right, man. Right on the level. I need to do what's right for my family, man. You lit my soul, man. Thanks, FBI.
Air guitar. Oh, wow. Agent Honor. All right, Polly, what
Mr.
you got?
Morgan, you're quite an impressive public speaker.
Really? Thank you, Polly.
You reminded me a little of a play I saw when I was younger.
What kind of play?
I'm talking about back when this place was still called the Mercury Theater. When I was young, I used to come here often with my husband. God rest his soul. We'd come on the weekend to see the latest play.
Which play?
He'd always pretend to be uninterested. But I could tell he was excited inside. He was just one of those kind of guys, really, thinking about it now.
Oh, Polly.
Really, Polly. So what's your favorite play?
Oh, well, I like so many. There was one in particular, but I can't recall the name anymore. Oh, it was a very famous one, too.
Something by Shakespeare?
Oh, no, nothing. One more bell that doesn't ring anymore. I've always been forgetful about the plays we used to see anyway.
Like accidentally or
Husband would get
purposefully?
angry at me for forgetting what we saw. He'd go on for hours retelling what the play was about. His eyes were so sparkling, like a happy young boy.
Oh, man.
I see. So, what's your favorite play?
Oh, I almost forgot, Mr. Morgan. We're going to have another guest soon. I have to get back and get things ready.
Sorry for having to hurry away. I'll see you back at the hotel.
She's gonna hurry away with her hands behind her
She
back.
embarrassed the toughest of the FBI's interrogators. She successfully avoided answering my questions, Zach. Amazing.
Yeah. But that wasn't the best. That wasn't the best conversation here. We gotta talk to the one, the only, the pot lady.
Oh my pot is getting cold.
Yeah. Best character of the whole game.
My pot is getting cold.
You are...
This is her entire shtick. Nothing else to her character.
Sigourney. Sigourney.
Sigourney. Okay. Now, what is the matter? Can you explain?
No time for chatting. I need to hurry. My pot is getting colder. Oh, you're useless.
Zach, we've met all sorts today, but really, she takes the cake. Amazing.
Yeah. Also important to note, she only has one shoe. Nothing further.
Hello again, Agent York. How are you?
Good, thanks. And you?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty good today.
Well, that's good to hear. Do you have any information that could help me out?
Information? Sounds difficult and not my kind of conversation. Anyways, you should come by the gas stand again. I'll give you the best service in town.
Zach, perhaps you can tell me. Why did she bother coming here?
Because she wants that FBI dick. That's why.
I've nothing to say to you.
I haven't asked you anything yet, Jack.
Shut it! I might
Yeah, because otherwise, like, these two clearly have no reason to come here. They don't. They do not care one iota that there is that there's been a murder in this town,
Oh, what a creature. Guess there's always someone like him in every
and
town.
that they could potentially find information that would be pertinent to hand over to law enforcement for solving this.
Jim, thanks for your help in the forest. How are Isaac and Isaiah?
They're fine.
They really seem to love their grandpa.
Well, I guess they do, son. I want to keep them away from the filth of the material world as much as I can. Their mother agrees, which is why she lets me take care of them so often. And that's why I want you to solve this case quickly and go home. Those rumors about that scar of yours do more damage than good around here.
I guess I reek of the material world, don't I? I have to in order to do my job. But I understand what you mean.
I'd think the same if I was born in a place like this, Zach.
All right, and that's all of them, I think. Oh wait, no, that's right. I gotta talk to Quint and Richard. They're over here. Then we're done.
So, finding your way around okay?
Yes, pretty much. But some people are hard to get along with.
People problems, huh? I thought city folks were used to things like that. There's lots more people in the city than there are here.
Well, that's true. But I started simplifying things a bit. Here's my new
Oh boy.
It's simple, really. There's only 3 types of people. Criminals, victims, and investigators. Everyone else are just vegetables. Vegetables called other people.
You really are strange.
Oh, he is. And I'm pretty sure that entire simplification he just said would be enough to piss off anyone he's talking to.
Quint, you're here too. I didn't think you were the town meeting kind of guy.
A friend of mine was killed, you know, man? I'm not letting this one go quietly. I'll do anything to help you catch the scumbag who did this.
Thank you. But vigilance is not justice. Nothing good will come from desiring simple revenge.
Oh, come on, I'm not that stupid. But I'm frustrated a bit just thinking that there's nothing I can do about it.
We each have a role, purpose in life, raison d'etre. Don't forget that.
I know. Just don't preach to me. You're sounding like my old man.
Zach, wow. I'm in shock like a weasel in an electric chair. You just made me realize that I must be getting old.
Oh, there's worse. There are worse ways to try and make you feel old. Believe me. I'm experiencing that right now.
Good evening.
Just go on the internet and see whatever, like, what Gen Z assholes are, like, using as a new lingo or whatever.
Good evening, Mr.
Brian. The great
Or how much the internet just accelerates everything, like, to relevance and then immediate obscurity and just
grave on the prairie?
passage of time
Anna.
feeling way too
she was
fast.
So beautiful. Too soon. Too soon to go to the grave. So sad. So sad.
Yeah, man, I had completely forgotten
totally
about, like,
agree.
these...
That's why
About
I'm
these
here,
three up here. I
looking
somehow
for the
thought
one who
that
did it.
I completely forgot that there was
you
more
close to
besides Carol that were like behind the actual stage.
Anna. Her smile. So warm.
Mm-hmm.
Anna. Blonde hair. So bright.
There's a graveyard somewhere in town, Zach. I'm not excited about the idea, but maybe we should at least check it out.
We technically have. We've gone there to sleep multiple times. Alright, there we go. Now we're done with this chapter.
I'd like to let everyone go home now. Let's go outside.
Okay. So yeah, we're about almost 2 hours in now. Basically just focusing on like moving the story along and all that. But now we're at the next fun, in quotes, part of this playthrough. The part where, yep, we are going to be putting the story back on hold again just to get a whole lot of this side quest stuff out of the way. Get a whole bunch of items, car upgrades, like listen to NPCs and like their stories, all kinds of stuff. This'll be good. First, though, we obviously have to get some dinner with the police after a hard day's work.
Well then, Agent York, do you have any plans for this evening?
I was going to head back to the hotel and go over my notes.
That police car is properly imparked.
Okay, let's call
no,
it a day here.
improperly parked. God, that was a weird mix-up of words.
We'll pick you up tomorrow morning. Diane, the owner of the art gallery, should be back.
Seriously, you may be police in this small town, but that is not justification to park using
Hold
up
on,
2
Agent York.
spaces.
We're going out to eat at Nick's Diner. Would you like to come with us?
The diner. That might be nice.
Thomas is a great cook, but Nick is the real deal. No visit to Greenvale is complete without eating at the A&G.
A very appealing proposition. Zach, what do you think? We can always go back to the hotel after eating dinner. Or go directly back to the hotel. You decide, Zach.
Yeah, let's eat with them.
Mm-hmm.
The nice thing is that we're going to be needing to do, like, a chapter replay of this, like, at least 4 times. And just selecting the option to, like, not go to dinner is something that will help save time on those replays. It's very handy.
I've been sheriff here for a long time now. And this is the worst murder I've ever seen.
Our town
Yeah,
is
just
a
eat
little
into that
odd in
burger,
some
George.
ways, but it's usually a peaceful place.
We had our fair share of cases, but just the regular stuff. A high school kid shoplifting.
This cutscene's really good.
Maybe
So many of these cutscenes are good, but this one is really standout, if only because of York's own particular brand of crazy that he adds to the
What kind of cases have
conversation.
you dealt with in the past?
Not much different from those you've just mentioned. The case I was on until last month, well, the guy killed 7 girls in a 3-month period. He sawed their heads off from the neck and took them back to his house. Cleaned the skulls up and used them as utensils in his daily life.
Oh my
To eat from or as a urine cup. He hated women. That was his way of dealing with it.
Oh my god.
He'd fill skulls with ice, cola, and rum, and he'd down it in one gulp. For him, that was a holy ritual. The question of his mental state was the pivotal point in the court case.
Oh wow.
Oh, man.
It's like, what the fuck? We are trying to eat here, dude.
Drinking from the skulls, well, that is one thing. But those he had used to relieve himself, he would then just use them to drink from, too. Yeah, that was too much fun.
Oh man.
It's just not sanitary.
Not sanitary. That's probably not the problem.
Yeah, the problem is literally everything else you mentioned that would like ruin these people's appetites.
An ingenious law school student raped over 800 victims. That was a nasty.
Thank you, Agent York. Now, let's talk about something else.
You don't want to hear anymore? That's a shame, isn't it, Zach? I was just about to get to the good part.
Nothing about these are the good parts.
Different world.
Come on.
An elite agent who just jumped out from a movie or something. In your eyes, we must look like we're just playing cops and
Oh, wow.
robbers. Ugh, I give up. I can't compete with you.
Don't say that, Emily. The cases you have solved are all full-fledged crimes. A crime is a crime. Size doesn't matter. There is no big and small.
Only thing where the size matters is the punishment for said crime.
Always have a criminal and a victim. No victim will ever welcome a crime, no matter what its size. So, fundamentally,
That's true.
there's no difference in size.
Well said, Agent Morgan. We work day and night to preserve peace and order in this town. You understand that, right?
Of course. But still, I don't view shoplifting and Anna's murder as the same level of crime.
I mean, again, it's like, it's still a crime either way, you know?
Such a thing
Like,
could
both
ever
victims in that
even
situation,
happen in
like
this
York
town.
says, would never welcome it. The difference is, like, how do you, like, create, like, the sort of, like, punishment or retribution that needs to be paid in order to make up for that crime? You know? That's obviously how people, like, end up thinking that there are crimes that are, like, bigger or smaller than others, because it's more like the punishment itself that needs to be done for it. Alright, but that's it. We ruined dinner for everyone. And now we get to go and do some side quests. And the nice thing about doing that is actually that it does refill your hunger gauge entirely, because you do eat. Whether or not, like, anyone else at dinner with you ate because of the horrible stories you told, that's another matter entirely. All right, let's go to Lysander's junkyard. Time to get to the good stuff. right. Now, I'm pretty sure most people who aren't, like, way into cars would obviously just see this as junk. York ain't the only one, man. Yeah, let's talk. Let's start this quest.
Fella, how do you feel about your current vehicle?
My vehicle? It's a piece of crap, but I'm not here to talk about that.
Then how about a little treasure hunt? Listen up, young man. My junkyard is actually a mountain of treasure. All kinds of treasure lies in those mountains of junk. The problem is, there's so many, I've lost track of where everything is. You've caught on already. I can see it in your eyes. I need you to head out in the yard and find certain things for me. If you
It's easy
help me
enough.
out, I'll customize your car a little.
What are you talking about?
Didn't I tell you to shut up and listen to your superiors? Now, will you do it or not?
I don't see any reason to refuse.
Well said. First, I'll need some low gear parts. With that, I'll be able to boost the engine of your car. You'll find one around E5. Go! Don't just stand there, get going!
Sir, yes, sir. Okay. Yeah, get a good old Grakach. Bust our way through. So yeah, low gear parts should be around E5. Because of these very handy number and letter signs to kind of arrange things in a grid-like manner. Which... Oh, yeah. Just gotta keep going around this way. Yeah, the effort to go through for these side quests each time ain't too bad. It's obviously like the thing that that you care about getting the most, more than the upgrades to like the cars you drive. It's the character details. It's listening to whatever the general's like bizarre war stories are that he has to tell, and then just going, "Hang on, is that really true?" Alright. Okay, we got the low gear parts. Here you go. Tell us what you know.
This is it. This will save your life someday, son.
You sure know how to exaggerate.
You imbecile. Engine boost is vital for bringing back soldiers alive from war.
Engine boost.
Of course. Engine boost is the basis of everything. Let me tell you a war story, son. I was leading my unit at the very front line. Things were bad, and sanitary conditions were worse. Endless guerrilla attacks were stripping us of our manpower. Everyone was tired to their limits. There was one sergeant who really rubbed me the wrong way.
Oh, yeah.
The boys like to call him Crybaby Timothy. He really gave me headaches, I can tell you.
How?
Just by breathing. His posture was bad. He was weak, slow, easily distracted. I have no idea who thought he was capable of combat in a war zone. He endangered the lives of every member of the unit. Stomach pains. The worst stomach ache ever. Every one of us. It was just cooking. He was using food that was contaminated. I flew to the dugout
lethal
toilet
chef.
like an Apache chopper returning to base. I have to tell you, it was a close call. My engine was boosting. And that's what got me there safely.
Engine boost saved you from
What happened to the unit?
from just
You really
having the
wanna
most
know?
painful shit imaginable in front of the enemy.
It was a terrible sight. Powerful, athletic men reduced to walking dead. Blinking like crazy, shaking with pain. Their confidence and self-esteem were all crushed. They almost didn't recover.
An interesting story.
So you see the need for engine boost now, do you? I'll keep my side of the promise and get to work on your vehicle.
All right.
That badge on him is for a sergeant. Looks like it was sewn on something else before it was sewn onto his shirt. I wonder what that's all about.
I put in longer pistons and optimized your lower gears. That should add boost to your speed when you accelerate. But there's still plenty of stuff I can do to make your car go faster. Just come see me again and I'll customize your car a little more.
All right. Yeah, and then obviously the next like car junk quest won't be until we do another like chapter replay, because of course that's how these work. All right. Okay, next step. Go to the milk barn, drive over to the Panda Bear, go inside, and then just like get that location added to the radio list. Okay. Yeah, our speed's not really that better, and just, oh man. Yeah, and the e-brake's just not as good with this thing. What? No, I didn't mean to hit the guide button. I meant to press start. Okay. Let's go inside. Get this thing added to the list, as well as pull some stuff out of the toolbox. See, yeah, we need... Yeah. Onion and egg. And that's it. Next thing, I'm actually just gonna head over to the police station and get rid of this like big car for like the regular one we've been using, because we're gonna need. I'm just more used to that, obviously, especially for like the e-brake turns. That's kind of what's important for me right now. Then we're still gonna have to drive around to get to roaming Sigourney, because her quests have opened up now. Sheriff's Department, right there. All right. There's a whole lot of stuff to do. And under no circumstances, as easy as you would think it would be, like, we cannot go back to our hotel room because that is, stepping inside it does absolutely cause the chapter to end and thus kind of lock us out for a while. Okay. Now there should be like one of two locations that Sigourney will show up. So she could either be Okay, she's definitely not near the Emily's house. But she is over there, up north. Yeah. So we just gotta head north up to the lake. Actually, hold on. I keep forgetting. Is this even... Does this go all the way? No, it doesn't. Okay. Yeah, I gotta turn left. Oh, God, that feels a lot better. But yeah, like our unboosted speed is actually slightly better. Instead of 45, it's 50. That's not bad. And it goes up to a little over 55 when we're speeding along. It's all good. Not a bad night, all things considered. Some clouds, but it's still like you can clearly see the stars in the sky. And there she is. All right, lady.
Hey, Sigourney.
I'm glad you're here. My pot, it's getting cold. Please, let's get going.
Well, that's not the only thing that's getting cold.
What are you rambling on about? My pot's getting cold as we speak. Hurry, hurry!
Zach, I guess we're going to have to drive her home. But I wonder what happens when her pot gets cold.
That is a mystery for the ages.
Now, get the car going. My house is over by the lake. 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, off we go. And this is obviously going to be the most annoying part about this. She never stops yelling at you with like the same 2 to 3 lines. Although she's not really saying anything right now, which is a bit bizarre, but okay. It's whatever. Huh. She's really not saying anything else. Oh, there we go.
Could you step on it? If we go this slow, my pot is going to get cold.
Well, at least you didn't talk my ear off constantly throughout that, so I guess that's something.
Thanks to you, my pot is still warm.
I'm glad to hear that.
Don't get so excited, will you? Keep your voice down.
What, are you going to tell me a secret?
The pot knows everything.
They don't give her like a different idle animation like when she's like not in a hurry. They just slow down her animation.
Different angle. There is only one truth.
That's taking advantage of the limited budget you're given with.
Like cooking a stew. Mix things in and wait for it to boil together. Just make sure it doesn't get burnt. And keep an eye on it. You have to gently mix it sometimes and wait until it's ready. Listen carefully. The best stew is a stew that is boiled slowly.
And now she speeds up again.
Did you have to talk so long? Oh.
Okay, then. Alright, now let's go to the Tree of Anna and sleep it off there. So that we can get an early start on another side quest. And let's see what the in-game time is. It's like 10:45. Okay, so trying to think. Yeah, I could pretty much like do a full 12-hour sleep in game. We'll be good to go. The important thing once we wake up from here is to quickly find Isaac and Isaiah because they're the ones with the next side quest. Okay. Time to eat up. Eat up all these pickles. And a couple lollipops. Oh yeah, there they are. I still need to fill back up on these, though. There. Now, what position are they at? Oh, they're very close. Yeah, let's just head out there. It's a nice sunny day. No rain in sight. Nope. Oh, you kids get back here right now. Okay. Damn it, kids, quit running. There.
We saw someone. We really did.
Did you now?
Isaac? Isaiah? What exactly did you see?
Someone in the forest.
Standing under Anna's tree.
Not a goddess.
A little different.
A ghost?
Yeah, maybe it was a ghost.
Ghost? What makes you think that?
We found this on the ground there.
Would a ghost drop this?
Another picture.
Let me see. It's blurry and out of focus. I can make out two people, but not their faces. So that's why they think it was a ghost. But then who was under Anna's tree?
We'll figure out who that is, but not until like 4:30 in game, because that's when the ghost, as it were, appears. For now, we got time to kill doing other important things. To the milk barn. Oh, man. We got one thing to buy here. And it's an item that'll lead us to a side quest that rewards us with a very, very good weapon. For that matter, I am going to put this away. Because that weapon in question we're going to be getting is replacing the submachine gun that I got. The Infinity guitar is pretty good, obviously, but that's like for melee. Sometimes you want to be able to shoot things from far away and have it be fine, you know? Spiritual map A. Give me some lore, Keith.
The spot on the map is called Cope's Tunnel. It's one of a couple of places in town where, like, spooky stuff happens. I'll tell you a story, okay, man? But, don't go spreading it around. The spirits, they don't like publicity. Back when this place was a lumber kingdom, you know, the rockin' 80s. That tunnel was
the
main
rockin'
connection from the
80s.
lumberyard to
Great.
this town. Every day, huge trailers would like come in and out. Lots of traffic, dude. Of course, some people were like all up in arms. Save our nature, stop pollution, you know. Big business was pushing in here from all over the US of A. Everyone was bickering over the forest. So some of the town people got even more worked up, you know? They started a protest inside the tunnel itself. I guess maybe that was the start of all the bad times.
Bad times?
Oh yeah, man. Rough stuff and heavy times, man.
It's a pretty
The
inspired
conservationists
combination
and the
of
lumber
having
workers
like
faced off with each
some
other. Neither
like
side was backing down, and that made things worse.
like some old rocker rock and roll dude telling a ghost story essentially.
That the man was a lumberjack.
It's a
and the
pretty
woman,
strong
she was a
combination.
tree hugger. They rarely ever fought, but then one morning they had a lover's quarrel. People think that her love of nature clashed with his profession, but we'll never know what they really were fighting about that morning. The man shouted. He called her an idiot, and then he stormed out and went to work. If only he had known, that would be the last word he would ever say to her. When he finished his work for the day, he got in his car and drove home. When he got to the tunnel, he saw lantern lights glowing faintly. Those fools, not again. He just thought they were protesting in the tunnel again. And to scare them a little, he decided to speed up.
Oh dear.
He probably thought they'd all scatter so he wouldn't hit them. But the lights didn't move. In fact, one came toward him. A second later, there was a thud, and the lantern flew up into the air. He slammed on his brakes, too late, of course. Then, totally freaked, climbed out to see what had happened. I don't need to tell you who he hit, do I? What's more, in her mangled hand, there was a letter to the head of the lumber mill. A peaceful settlement offer. The woman had no other relatives other than the man. And the lumber mill took no responsibility for the accident. It was going out of business anyways.
What happened to the man then?
No one saw him again. Some say he killed himself, or simply just vanished. You know, he might still be in the tunnel, weeping over his lost love. So now, some folks say there's a ghost of a young man that haunts the tunnel. I told you it was called Cope's Tunnel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, check this out. Some people call it Corpse Tunnel now. You better be careful, Mr. FBI, if you go down there by yourself.
All right. Sounds like a fun opportunity to kill a bunch of otherworldly weirdos. And it's a good thing that we're doing this particular side quest on the actual main chapter playthrough, because we're going to be able to ensure that we do not get any setbacks by saving our game right now. If we had saved this for any of the other replays and we died in there, it would mean having to make up a whole lot of lost progress in other areas. Man, with all the money we've spent, we're still above 10K. That's nice. Alright, to the tunnel. Where spooky stuff will happen, presumably. I at least remember that, the last, because, this quest is basically to do, a bunch of, combat challenges, essentially. And I do recall at least the last one being quite devious. Just because they throw a whole bunch of, shotgun enemies at you. Double check just to make sure that... Yeah. It'll be the next left.
So, where shall we go next?
To Corpse Tunnel, that's where. This thing still turns so horribly, but at least it's better than that bigger car. We still get the speed boost to 50 miles per hour. And that's without the dedicated boost. Such a weird system. But whatever. Nope, was not supposed to ram into that. Let's just head inside. Oh my god, you can't even break through those. Those hay barrels or whatever are indestructible. There. Yeah, I'll give this a shot. Let's go. Again, this is a really great side quest to do just because it gives you... It is another one of those things where it's designed to give you the tools to just break the game's combat to be something to be completely trivial. Because it really does not deserve to be anything remotely challenging. The game design is just not good to support it. Oh wow, I'm already full up on the small first aids? That's funny. This challenge, at least starting out, is not too bad. They are the enemies that can really only get you if you are, if you're in melee range. It's just the last room, again, that you have to worry about because they're the ones that have guns. It's at least easier to hit these because of how, when they don't have a melee weapon, they default to walking backwards, which means they're leaning their hitbox towards you. it's different from the ones that actually hold a melee weapon, because when they're reeling back to hit you, that's when I discovered that it's like you're unable to hit them because their hitbox just moves out of the way slightly. Which is weird, considering that it feels like the hitbox for landing attacks with the Grekaj feels stupidly huge anyway. Oh yeah, you can only keep one large first aid kit. That's funny. Alright, just a few more rooms. Okay, now here's the one with melee weapons. You gotta make sure to, like, anticipate the attack early. Like, don't swing when you are, like practically touching them. Because that's when you're liable to miss, of all things. Like so. You just gotta do it that early. Okay, is there anything else? What's at the table? Yeah, why not? So this should go well. And if I do take some damage in the last room, I got more than enough health items to mitigate it. Yeah, okay, this is the room. Okay. Just take them on one at a time. Do not get crowded by them. Yeah, why not? Pick up as many shotgun shells as we can, because it'll clearly be a while before we, I think, can get the infinity shotgun, assuming I'm not misremembering, like, how soon the next psychic spot map can show up. Okay, come on. Just keep picking up all these shotgun shells. So far, I think the ones at the other end of the room have clearly not been aggroed that they can't shoot me from that far. Which is good. Wow, I might actually get through this without taking any damage. I'm pretty sure on my practice run I still took like a hit or two. Like so. None to it. You can clearly imagine just how much more painful this would be if you did not have, like, the infinite durability weapons. Or worse, if all you had was just the freaking, like the regular pistol with the infinite ammo. Because, yeah, it's infinite ammo, but it's not that... It's really only valuable if you're actually able to land headshots, but that's assuming that, like, you can get, like, 100% comfortable with how bad the aiming is, which, you know, I'm not. I'm not good enough to, like, make it, like, 100% consistent, so it's, like, not worth the effort. That said, though, we got a better infinite ammo weapon right here. Yeah, we don't need to worry about extra ammo, and it can hold 360 bullets. Yeah, we're good. That's it for that quest. Very nice. Okay, next thing to do because we have the time, we're gonna head to the hospital because we can actually do, funny enough, another side quest. And once that's done, we'll head back to the Tree of Anna. And then advance time forward with some smoking to finish the earlier side quest. The one about the ghost. Looking at the amount of time I have to work with as far as like my energy, I'm pretty sure that like finishing this like first like chapter playthrough is something that we can absolutely get done, and we might be able to do like one chapter replay, and that'll probably come out to around 4 hours. That should be fine. Because I have been sitting here for a while. And I am kind of itching to kind of get back to like my playthrough of Prey. Because man, it's been... Ugh. That game's still incredible. I think enough time has passed, the more I think about it, that I've moved beyond going back and forth between whether or not I think it's like better or worse than System Shock 1, which before that used to be like, that was always like the one I'd say that was the best immersive sim. But I think now, having spent a whole lot of time with Prey, I'm like, no, this is actually better. Even if there are little things about it that, you know, if I had a say in the design, it would probably be a bit different in some areas to more closely evoke the things about System Shock I really do like.
Keep studying like that, and I'm sure Usher will notice.
The guy is so good. It really says a lot that, like, it's a game with effectively 4 main play styles, and I have felt compelled to do all of them. Some of them even multiple times.
I can quiz you, you know.
Sounds fun, Fiona.
That's really like the beauty of Arcane's games.
Answer 3 multiple choice questions correctly.
Like, they avoided the problem that some like System Shock 2 or Deus Ex has, where it feels like the idea of multiple builds is like possible, but only a few are ever really viable or like playable, really. Arcane, it really does feel like that, like at least from Dishonored onward, that they managed to make games where there is absolutely good reason to try every single playstyle because they all work, like 100%.
You want me to start the quiz?
Oh yeah, we're going to be doing a quiz, which I unfortunately have a cheat sheet for. Where does DNA exist within the cell? Okay. Where does DNA exist? Inside the nucleus.
Correct. But that was only the warm-up.
This quiz actually is really hard for anyone who is not studied up on, like, medical stuff or biology. Which part of the cell is the cytoplasm? Let's see. The interior excluding the nucleus.
Correct again. But now, time to bring out the big guns.
And it's important that, like, you have to get 3 in a row correct. How many milk teeth are there altogether? 20. Because it's like, there are multiple questions that she could cycle through randomly, is the idea.
Why? How? I thought those questions were pretty tough.
So if you did not have a guide like I do now, you would basically be left with having to...
No, but it's childish of you to stand there smiling like a winner. I hate to admit it, but you win, Agent.
Oh, she's mad.
Take this as a prize.
But yeah, you would obviously be stuck having to, like... like, guess trial and error until you got the string of questions that you know you can answer correctly. Okay, we're done with the hospital. Now to warp over to the tree, advance time to about 4:30. Talk to the ghost, and then complete that set of quests. Oh, man. God, there are just some days where, like, my ass feels so sore sitting in this chair for hours. And this is the first in a while where it feels like it's that. Like, again, because it's like, I feel like I've gotten pretty used to doing these sort of solo streams where, like, it's roughly about 3 hours of before calling it quits. And I think at least now it just might be a thing where maybe just something I kind of like lapsing on with my posture that I'm forgetting that's causing like my tailbone to feel like very sore as it's just being pressed hard against this chair. Oh well. Just gonna move time forward a little bit. Okay, past 1 o'clock. Then 2. 3. 3:30. 4. And now. 4:31. Good enough.
Carol.
Wait. Around here. Did you see...
See what?
Oh, nothing. Just forget it.
Oh wow, if you really did just leave the camera like this without adjusting it. Like he just walks out of frame. That's amazing. All right. Yeah, it's good. Now this photo. Take a look at this photograph.
This your picture?
Yeah, it is. So what? I thought I lost it somewhere.
Isaac and Isaiah picked it up. They found it here.
Really? Then I'll have to thank them for finding it.
So this is you and Anna?
What makes you think that?
You've come all the way out here almost every day when it's not raining. You wouldn't do that just to look for a photo of
It's
someone
amazing
else.
how huge that photo is.
Is that what you want me to say? And
Like
you're
it,
right.
like if it's supposed to be
That's
an
me and
actual
Anna in the
photograph, it
picture.
should be smaller. That looks more like someone had like saved the photograph and just printed it out onto a regular sheet of paper.
So who took the picture?
Carol.exe is still trying to process the answer.
Anna did. She wanted
There
a
it
picture
is.
of us both together. I didn't really want one. So she pointed the camera at us by herself while I was moving around. And that's what happens when you try to take a picture like that. She was always so silly and happy. She took so many pictures. She always printed a load of them and gave them to everyone. Everyone just threw them away.
So what about this one?
You don't make copies of the blurry pictures, do you? We weren't even that close. But I couldn't throw this one away.
I see. One last thing, then. Where was this picture taken?
Where? Nowhere special. Anna's room.
All right. Now, the next thing we need to do actually is talk to
Thank you,
the
Carol.
twins because
Try not to lose your stuff
like
anymore.
the
I'll
side
give you
quests they
this as
gave
a
us
thank
and the
you
one
gift for
Carol
getting
gave
my
are
picture back.
basically
I don't want
all
you
part of the
thinking
same
I owe you
thing.
anything.
Zach, did you hear that?
It's kind of weird how that
Why
works
would she
out.
say nowhere special? She's trying to hide the fact that it was indeed a very special place.
There we go. Now then, Isaac, Isaiah, where would they be? Oh yeah, they're down by the pier. Okay. All right. Time to get the reward from them. We're gonna try getting a rainy day sometime soon. Cause yeah, we got another side quest with Emily that's gonna involve her cooking, and naturally, she's not available for those unless it's raining, because the A&G closes. And that's basically the whole idea and why her cooking is so bad, because like she's trying to learn, she's still terrible at it. So like when it's clear that she isn't able to make something that's edible for her, she just goes straight to the diner and eats there instead, because that's just more practical. Cooking is a valuable skill, but man, is it very easy to just not get that skill at all. Especially when it's like, for some times, it's like, you're just not in the mood or right mindset to want to cook anything that night, you know? Like, you'll sometimes just be like, I just want to eat something now because I can't be bothered. Yo.
A ghost? Yeah, maybe it was a ghost.
I'm sorry to tell you that she wasn't a ghost.
You met her? Who was it?
Do you want to know?
I want to know. I want to know too.
It was Carol in the forest. I think she wanted to meet the goddess too.
Oh, so it was Carol. Oh, Carol and Anna were friends.
Does that clear everything up for you?
Yeah, that clears it up. Thank you. I'm scared of ghosts, but not of Carol. Thank you.
Good.
We'll give you this. We can give you this.
That last line of dialogue was interrupted at the last second by the trading card prompt. That's amazing.
Children's eyes are always so honest. It makes me wonder about the stuff we lose as we become adults, Zach.
Okay. Now to rest back up at the tree, because we'll have the easy supply of pickles to fill us when we wake up. Slow running up this path yet again. In fact, depending on like when the rainy evening happens, like I might actually end up doing like another side quest first before heading over to Emily's that same day. Because there's one important thing that we actually need to do in this part of town, and that's actually to do with fishing, funny enough. Yeah, like the fishing is not just for getting a bunch of trading cards or for like an important story objective like later in the game. There's an actual side quest that it revolves around. And it's pretty handy too because of a pretty solid item reward that it gives us. For now, let's sleep. York's getting pretty hungry. Hell, I'm getting pretty hungry too. Alright. Is it gonna be raining? No, it is not. Not yet. Shoot. We're gonna keep doing this however long it takes until it gives me the freaking rain. Still nothing. Oh, come on. Just give it to me already. Are you for real? Okay, finally, it's raining now, is the thing. But will it still be raining 12 hours from now? That's the important thing. Yes, it is. Good. Now let's eat up. Get some pickles. Get our hunger back up to max. And yeah, because it is still a little bit of a ways until Emily gets back to her house so we can initiate the next cooking side quest, we're absolutely going to do the fishing one that we can do around here. So yeah. 5 whole cans of pickles to go from no hunger to go from like an empty hunger meter to full. Okay. Let's go. God, with how long we've been in this suit, and depending on, like, how much longer it's going to take until we can get to a place to change our clothes, I would not be surprised if we get a stinky agent, like negative bonus for this whole playthrough. Especially when, like, the only other place I can think of where we actually, like, can change our clothes is at the sheriff's department, but that closes at 5, which is like it's 4:46 in the in-game time currently, so we don't really have a lot to work with, and I don't feel like going through a lot of like fast travel loading screens to go there for one thing and then back here for another. We'll just keep the current pace by staying here. Oh, man. Alright, and down to the pier we go. Now, hopefully, this should go pretty smoothly, considering that it has been a little while since we've done any fishing. We got most of it pretty much out of the way just when trying to go for all those trading cards. Okay. Alright. A regular rod. Just the normal bait. Okay. Come on. Oh, no. Oh, wait, no. We actually got it. Well, got as in we got the part that progresses the next part of the side quest. We don't actually get the fish. Because, surprise, it's a pretty tough one. You could see it there, jumping out of the water.
Did you see that? Now that fish was huge. You only see something like that in the countryside. I bet I'll need a better rod to reel that monster in. We need to find someone who knows more about fishing here.
Possibly someone who keeps these woods. Someone like Jim Green. Yeah, let's go talk to him. Again, we got plenty of time to work with. Okay. Yeah, once we get inside, initiate the conversation with Jim, I'm gonna like peek a little bit further ahead in my walkthrough just to remember how much more we got that needs to be done on this initial chapter run. Because it shouldn't be too much more, I feel like. Oh yeah, it's not that much. It's like this, another Emily side quest, and then one more side quest on this run, and that will absolutely be it. Wait, where the hell's Jim? Oh, wait, no, there he is.
Can I ask you something?
I have nothing to say if it's about murders, victims, and killers.
No, it's about something else. About fishing.
Fishing?
I saw a behemoth-sized fish in the river. A real whopper.
Did you catch it?
Oh, no. It was far too strong for my line. It ripped the lure right off.
Yeah, just as I thought. No human would be able to catch her, at least not that easily.
You know the fish I'm talking about?
Her name is Tabitha. She's been protecting the peace of the river for many years now.
Tabitha?
She's a special one. Probably some kind of king salmon. A variant or a mix of something. She's been seen in these parts for over a decade now. A normal king salmon would only live about 7 years, of course. There's no real explanation for it. I think there's a special reason for her existence. You know, like nature trying to warn us about something.
You said that she's kind of like the keeper of the river.
Catching the keeper is every fisherman's dream. You gonna try and catch her?
If I get the chance.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna catch her.
Just hold on a minute then.
One way or another.
I'll lend you this. It's the rod I used when I was younger. Real sturdy piece of work.
Are you sure?
Yeah, if you fight Tabitha with a weak rod, you might end up just getting hurt. If you do manage to haul her out, though, I want to see her, you know. Could you bring her to me?
Of course.
The Rod of Legends. Man, ain't that a solid upgrade from our regular fishing rod. Like, just in terms of the name alone, it's a pretty big jump. Like, it's the sort of thing that'll definitely, like, is there to, like, set certain expectations for you. Alright, round 2 with Tabitha. Let's go. Alright. Just gotta head over to the exact same spot we tried to catch her the last time. There. The Rod of Legends. And the bait. Here we go. Life is beautiful. And got it. First try. Sweet. All right. Reel her in. There we go. Ooh, that's a big fish.
All these scars. You've been protecting this river for a long time, haven't you?
I knew this day would come. What do you plan to do with her? I think she'd be lovely smoked.
Yep. Smoking your own catch sounds like the makings of a very tasty appetizer. But even the pair of us could never eat this much smoked salmon, right?
Yep, so can't think of anything reasonable to do with it, so we'll just let it back into the river. It was fun.
You might regret that later. You're not gonna see a fish that big again anytime soon.
Oh, I have no regrets. I capture criminals, not fish.
I bet she was glad, you know. Glad that you're the one who caught her. Just keep the rod. Think of it as your trophy for catching Tabitha.
Why, thank you. Sure, it'll come very handy in the future when we have to do like a story-related fishing side quest. Or maybe there's another like side quest, who knows? We clearly got like what we needed to out of the way with all the trading cards that we had to fish out of the rivers and lakes and God knows what else. Let's get back to the car. I think just to give us a little extra time and make sure that nothing else happens to make the rain go away, we're just going to drive over to Emily's house. I think that'll be fine. Okay. And hey, we're picking up some spare agent honors along the way, too. Not like we're at a loss for money, it's just a nice bonus. Okay. Time for another jog back down the road to where our car is. Yeah. Not the most eventful part about this, but I am trying to buffer out some time just to again, like, avoid the chance of the rain possibly disappearing anytime I like go back to, I don't know, do something like sleep an extra couple hours or smoke, because I've had that happen where like I go to smoke for like an hour or so and it causes the rain to stop, and that's generally something we don't want right now. Wait, where's the... Oh wait, I'm an idiot. Right, because I went into Jim's house and exited, my car should actually be there instead. Oh my god. I'm an idiot. That was real stupid. Should not have done that. Well, oh well, it's fine. We're not too far away. Whew. There's the car. Good. Let's hightail it out of here. Time for some good old driving music. Oh wow, I think it actually might be more practical to go down this winding curve if you're just... Like, if you're on the downhill slopes, you just let off the accelerator. Unsurprisingly, kind of like how it is when you do drive for real, you know? Sometimes you just need the downward momentum to carry you after a point. Though it can still be kind of hard to control otherwise. Okay, and we're already past 3 hours at this point, actually. See, I do think... Actually, I'm not sure if we are going to do like a chapter replay after this, because obviously it's like 2 more side quests with cutscenes, and then there's obviously like the big string of cutscenes we have to go through leading up to the like to the actual end of the chapter and episode itself. So I don't know. I think actually we'll call it quits for the stream once we end episode 1 proper. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Yeah, that'll be nice. It's like almost the first week. Like, it'll be a little more than first week that will be of this playthrough that we're going to be spending entirely on the first episode. But once we're past that point, things will go a whole lot faster. Yeah, like that is without a guarantee. I mean, that is like without a doubt, rather. It's 100% guaranteed that later chapters will not be needing to spend nearly as much time doing a lot of driving around looking for stuff to pick up. Because we have the radio for the fast travel, we got like pretty much all like those cards and the bones and everything like collected anyway. And like and we're getting most of like these quests out of the way on chapter replays this early on, so that the remaining side quests we do have to do will thankfully be stuff that can be easily fit into like the main playthrough. It'll flow a lot better from there. Oh hey, just in time for Emily to get back home. Now then. Okay, seriously, in what world do people like make it so that freaking like 10mm auto bullets are in someone's... Oh my god. Alright, fine, I guess I do have to smoke. We'll do that. Assuming the game didn't decide to like glitch out on me or something. And ruin my chances. Okay, good, it didn't. We can head inside right now. And I should still have the onion that we need to complete this next leg of the cooking side quests. All right. Give us your amusing critiques.
Hey, Emily. Something smells good.
Of other people's
I'm
cooking.
trying to make a meatloaf this time.
A meatloaf, huh? Nice. That's a basic dish for every household.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah, my mother
always
cooked it pretty
always
often,
good.
too. Would you like to give it a taste?
Again?
Just combine meat.
Well, I can...
Get some
Don't worry,
breadcrumbs,
I've done
a
the
little
poison
egg in
testing
there to
already,
kind of
and I made something pretty
glue the
tasty
enzymes
last time,
together.
Emily, maybe we should do
Add
this
some
another
garlic
time.
and onion powder and other seasoning on top of that. Mold it together into the loaf, bake it. Oh, it's always good.
So
I generally make it a
how'd
point
taste?
as far as like the stuff I'm willing to cook that
admit,
like
this one is hard
like
to comment on.
every
One
2
can
weeks I basically
insert it
like do a
into their
meatloaf
mouth,
just because
that
it's
much
like
is certain.
it's always good to do and it's
But I'm not sure if
and
the
again
human
it's simple.
digestive system can handle this and digest it.
Simple to make and
Now,
satisfying.
Emily, no need to get depressed.
You can even like
It's just like
fit
last time.
slices of
We just
mozzarella
need
in
to
between and
identify
make it
the
into like a
missing
layered
ingredient, and that
meatloaf
might
if you
turn
can believe
today's
it.
cooking
That's
into a
actually
tasty
pretty
dish.
good.
So what is it this time?
I'm thinking a vegetable. One that becomes sweeter when heated.
A sweet vegetable? I have no idea.
Then Zach and I will bring it to you like last time.
Okay, I'll keep trying by myself too.
Yeah, some onion flavoring definitely does add to a meatloaf. I can vouch for that. Alright, there's the onion.
Emily, the answer is onion.
Onion? The meatloaf is finished.
And it tastes good, too.
It really is good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably good enough to sell.
Emily, this certainly tastes
Don't quit your day job, though.
But if I were you, I wouldn't quit my job to become a cook just yet. It'll be a tough career move.
You think so? I'd like to get other people's opinions, too.
I can't recommend that. I'm trying to be polite about this, you know.
You don't really know what it means to actually
Then
be
you should
polite.
stick to being polite until we finish eating.
Which in this case, to be
You're
polite
the
is
only
shut
person
your
I
damn
have a
mouth.
fine meal with.
Zach, we search for ingredients for her, and we help her with her cooking. We even went as far as to praise the taste. And yet she still gets angry.
It's because your constructive criticism, like, feels more like you're trying to put them down. That's the main problem.
Figure her out.
Agent York, I'm sorry if I got a little emotional on you. But I'm glad I was able to make a good meal today.
Yeah, you should be glad. I don't know why you're giving me, like, a photo of, like, your garbage cans that you refer to as industrial waste, but okay. Another nice try cooking. Alright, now for the final side quest we gotta do for this playthrough. For this chapter playthrough specifically. We gotta head to the Galaxy of Terror. Fortunately for us, even though a whole lot of things close when it rains, bars still run no matter what. Let's go. And then we're also going to have to advance time again just a bit more. Until, like, it opens. Alright, time to pass another hour. There we are, 7 o'clock. The final quest for the evening. Helping Thomas, who runs this as like a second job, to stop like a problem customer that seems to be getting a bit too close to his sister when she's up on stage. You'll see. Yeah, let's just talk about what's troubling him.
Thomas, something on your mind?
Those two NPCs, even though they're not sitting next to each other, their drinking animations are perfectly synchronized. Look at that. Look at that.
Is it affecting business?
That is amazing. Oh man. You pay attention to the weird technical details in this jank-ass 360 game that is clearly a PS2 game in disguise. You just get gold. You get gold every single
I
time.
understand, Thomas. If it's bothering you, then I'll take care of it.
What? Aren't you busy with the investigation, Agent York?
That won't be a problem. So tell me about this unwanted customer.
Well, he isn't here right now. He usually comes in after 2100.
I'll take a look in from time to time.
I'm actually going to see about something I can do, because it's before 9 p.m. And I think the last time I tried this on a practice run, it was already past 9, so I had to basically advance time a full 24 hours. So we're just going to go back outside and smoke a couple hours away. That should be good. All right, down to 15. Let's go. There. All right. Is the problem customer in here? Is he? Damn it, no. It has to be the next day. God damn it. All right, fine. That's a bit frustrating, though. Like, again, I started the quest before the time that, like, that the dude's supposed to show up. There's no reason he couldn't have. Oh, who cares? This is still the best place to sleep at, aside from the hotel, obviously, just because of the proximity to, like, a food item. Which I guess technically the hotel room doesn't really have. See, I guess it's technically best to, like, sleep at, like, this place or at the graveyard. Depends on what you're feeling like in the morning. Pickles or tomatoes? Okay. One more day of this. Well, at least the rain has stopped. And another 12 hours. It's a beautiful night. Alright, we know the routine. We woke up after a 24-hour nap, shoved the pickles down our gullet. while also picking up some more pickles. Really wish there was like a button prompt or something to like just when you pick up a food item, you just get the chance to like eat it on the spot. Would probably speed things up a lot better. There. Back to full. Pick up at least 2 more, and then we head back to the Galaxy of Terror. Then we can finally give the boots to whoever this customer is that's apparently giving the bar a hard time. I can only guess who it might be. After all, we only really deal with like named NPCs in this entire game, despite there being a bunch of generic ones. There he is.
Hey, Jack. You're in a good mood tonight.
I've got nothing to say to the cops.
I'm glad to see you haven't changed one bit since our last conversation. I take it you have a thing for Carol.
Of course it had to be Jack.
Now that's no
This
business
fucking
of yours,
biker
is it?
Guy
It is if you're
Fieri
disturbing
looking
the peace here
punk.
and obstructing business.
So what are you gonna do about it?
Tell me, Jack. What makes you so hot for Carol?
Huh? Ah, she's hot. A total babe. She's hotter than anyone I know.
Or than anyone you know?
Oh yeah, baby. She's #1. That's why I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, Jack.
She don't know what I do outside the house. It's none of her business.
I see.
Yeah, real model husband here, Jack.
Conversation back to her.
Huh?
My job requires me to record every conversation that I have. But your wife won't mind, will she? Even though she isn't #1?
You dirties!
You want to make a deal?
I'll give you a deal if you come by the stand.
Well, that solved that problem. Those 2 NPCs are still in sync with their drink animations.
The odds were against him, Thomas.
That is
Lose in a
fantastic.
2 versus 1 fight in a bar.
2 against
God
1?
bless this stupid game.
You must be kidding.
I'm joking, Thomas. I've never seen a situation like that actually turn into a barroom brawl.
I find that hard to believe. FBI agents must be really good at handling situations like that. It's amazing you guys really record every single conversation you have.
What are you talking about, Thomas? I don't carry around a recording device.
Really? But you said... You mean you were just bluffing?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I'm still impressed by your FBI tactics. You've done us a big favor. It isn't much of a thank you gift, but please, take this.
Another trading card, which to me is another $200 in my bank account.
Zach, wasn't that fun?
Yes, it was fun. Unfortunately, we're tired now, so we need to go. Okay. Gonna make one final save here. Because as far as I'm aware, there is one thing that can occur with like the final set of cutscenes. Specifically the last one where if you try to skip through it, the game has a chance of like leaving you stuck on a black screen and the game just crashes. So we're going to be making sure that we avoid doing that, even if it means we have to see it multiple times across the various chapter replays we're going to be doing. Because this is the chapter that is, like, ideal for getting so many of the side quests done. You know, because it's like, there's not many story objectives. In fact, there's only the one, and it's go to the place. And this is like the earliest point where like all of like the places you can go to are finally unlocked and you can interact with. You know, you got, you know, roaming Sigourney is now out in the environment. You can actually talk to the general. You could go to Wesley's, to Panda Bear. It's just like a good chapter in general to get a lot of side stuff out of the way, even when there's like a whole lot that you need to do. There. Now we're done. Just gotta go through a few more cutscenes, and we're done. Man, the weather out here, not in the game, mind you. I'm talking about real life right now. Just kind of looking at my windows, like winter is coming early, yet it is still struggling to have like any sort of heavy snow that actually sticks because it warms up just enough to be back above freezing. That any snow that was happening in the morning now turns to rain.
She was cut open with a knife.
And it's like the beginning of October.
That was the direct
I didn't even mention that it was like, I think like it was like a little over a week ago, actually. It was like the Friday before last that it actually had snowed in December. I've spent a lot of time in Alaska, and I've seen the times where like it first starts to snow being as early as October. I have never seen it happen once in September, of all things. Obviously, a lot of it melted because, again, it wasn't cold enough for it to like stick. But it's just times like that where like I see it, especially after moving back up here almost to, like over a year ago now. It's like I'm still confused as far as like what time even is anymore. Feels like a meaningless construct.
Knee prints in the grass. Wood chip with metal dust. A photo of a man with a tattoo on his back. One other thing. Do you remember what that was, Zach?
Yeah, so bondage, fetish, restraints. That's a good way of describing handcuffs. But yeah, we found like a broken stiletto heel.
Two people came into contact with Anna's body prior to it being discovered by us. Those being the perpetrator who killed Anna and Miss Stiletto Heel. There is also the possibility that a third party carried Anna to the woods. That means we could be dealing with 3 people. 2 or 3 people. In any case, Miss Stiletto Heel may have vital information. We need to find her next. Didn't use forensic methods, but we're still closing in on the criminal. Have I forgotten anything?
York's methods.
Of course. The marks on her hand.
Stuff that clearly would not hold water in any actual real-life crime scene investigation, but at least makes for an interesting enough like concept for like a fictional crime story. Yep.
That's right. A round object. The marks on her hand suggested.
Oh yeah, and it's already like 3.5 hours into the stream, so yeah, like once the final cutscene plays here, we are absolutely calling it quits. Pretty fulfilling session for today, I would say.
But we don't know for sure. Next, townfolk. A few are worthy of special attention. Carol McLean, the singer and bar owner. She's Thomas's sister. Then there's Nick Cormack, the owner of the diner. Both of them seem to be hiding something.
Oh boy, they were.
Diane, the owner of the art gallery, who's out of town. Then we have problematic, old, rich, and eccentric Harry. Both will be tough to crack. Well, we just have to go one by one. I've been thinking, one of the biggest rewards here is the fantastic food. Enjoying food is cultural, and yet it's also a bit uncivilized.
There he goes. Going to bed, sleeping right under the covers again, because this game is crazy like that.
Emily's back. It was strange to me. Hey, don't take that the wrong way, Zach. I wasn't getting all excited or anything. But it
You don't have a back fetish or anything, do you?
Strange. Nostalgic and sad almost.
Okay.
It's starting to rain. I think this case may take a while.
About 3 a.m. He was busy putting together his report that late. Oh well. Hope he gets enough sleep otherwise. Oh man. Oh. There's Willie. Old Dalmatian. Saw him in the trading card. And another Miss Stiletto Heel. Who could it be? As well as this fat old fuck. I know what I can say about that. Nothing until at least Wednesday's stream, because Monday and most of Wednesday is clearly going to be a whole lot of these chapter replays, just to get all the side quests out of the way. If you're lucky, it won't be it won't be until like a week from now that we actually get on to episode 2. Wow, 10 days spent already, and that's just waiting for like the rainy day to actually do something. There we go. 13,347. Yeah. Okay. We've hit the end for today. This was fun. It's definitely been very relaxing, but still enjoyable all around to play through this game in as thorough a manner as I've not done before, and to just have it like streamed out and recorded for posterity on the internet. Anyway, next stream will be over on Monday. It's going to be, again, because that's one of those days where I just have work no matter what, it's going to be in the evening and on the shorter side of things. So probably 1, maybe 2 chapter replays of what we just went through in order to get side quests out of the way. And then we'll like do the remaining replays on Wednesday and then proceed with the main story. All right. Thanks again for watching, people. Take care.